Welcome. I'm your humble host, Phys Ed Music, and this is Urban Politics. I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a chance, take your cell phone over to YouTube, like and subscribe, Phys Ed Music, Urban Politics, where politics lives. But without further ado, I want to get right into it like a car and drive, because there's all types of tasty and delicious politics to sink our teeth into. First of all, let's talk about budgets. Let's talk about Biden's budget, and let's talk about how Biden's budget was dead on arrival when he delivered it to the the House-controlled GOP. Right, so they said his budget was DOA, dead on arrival. Republicans want deep cuts to health care, food assistance, and housing for poor people. Let's say it again, ladies and gentlemen. My God, the Republicans want him to cut things like, and they want deep cuts to health care, food assistance, and housing for poor people. So that right there is the GOP just letting the American people know that we don't care about you. If you ain't got no money, we don't care about you, because they want cuts to all of these things that help poor people, that hurt economically disadvantaged people, that hurt kind of the most vulnerable among us, right? So there's that. Biden knew it would never pass the Republican-controlled House. The fight is the point. Make the GOP tell the American people what they want to do. And that's the thing. A lot of that was even what was going on during the State of the Union, right? So he's giving the State of the Union, and he even had to put it out there. He said, some of these, Republicans, he said, not all of you, but some of you have even put forth, getting rid of Medicare and Medicaid and putting it in type of a sunset thing where every 5 years they'll have to vote on it again. What? And then some of them wanted to yell or whatever, but yeah, they went on record as supporting that. A lot of them, not all of them, like he said, not all of them, but a lot of them do support that. So then they want to get in front of the cameras and act like they don't support it. So that's what this is about too. When he kicks this budget over there that's full of all this good stuff, when they poo-poo it, now they have to go in front of their constituents and tell them why food assistance is a bad thing. Tell them why housing for poor people is a bad thing, and that's something that they don't need, and that's something that shouldn't be of importance to them in their communities. Now they got to go before the American people and tell them why they want deep cuts to health care. Are you serious? Are you serious? But of course, yeah, these are the same people who done fought Obamacare 50 plus times, tried to get it repealed and couldn't get it repealed because a lot of their own constituents love Obamacare and are alive because of it. Obamacare, or, the American Care, ACA, whatever. You know what it is. So point being, these people hate health care for poor people. So they need to go on TV and tell America and tell the rest of their other constituents why they think poor people shouldn't have health care, why they think poor people shouldn't have affordable housing. So this is a brilliant piece of politics that Mr. Biden did. He's sending it over there knowing that they were going to shoot it down, and now you can explain to your constituents why these great things that are great for Americans is not good for them, and why they should keep voting for you even though you're voting away some of this good stuff that they need. Anyway, moving on. I want to talk about Texas and abortion. Texas going crazy about abortion. They've been doing that. A lot of these states, a lot of these governors have been closing down, abortion clinics, like 40 going north. My governor, DeWine, he's one of them. He's a part of that merry band of GOPers who wants to just shut down every abortion clinic on the planet. So he's been doing that. But here in Texas, this is what's been going on. 5 women are suing Texas over the state's abortion ban. These women say that they were denied abortions under the state's law despite risks to themselves and their fetuses that made the procedure a medical necessity. 2 of the women told their stories on the steps of the Capitol. Most Americans support abortion, especially when the life of the mother is at risk. 13 states have banned abortion. 13 states have banned abortion, right? So you do have a lot of doctors out here and such who don't even want to touch it. They're not messing around with abortions. They were saying some of these guys won't even, maybe give a woman an exam, see that she needs an abortion, maybe she wants one. They won't even send her information to somewhere else that she might get an abortion somewhere else. They don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Why? They're afraid of this 99 years in prison, $100,000 in fines, and you can lose your medical license. So think about that. You got 99 years in prison. You could do this 100 years in prison. You probably wouldn't get all of that, but you get the majority of that, 60% of that. Any percent of that is bad, right? And you're going to owe $100,000 and you lose your medical license. You're probably just going to say, the heck with it, I'm not going to mess with abortions at all. And that's sad. That leaves a lot of women in the lurch. Like these women who were really hurt and really needed an abortion for medical reasons and couldn't get one because of this ban, and then playing games with Roe versus Wade and all this other stuff in Texas and stuff, right? So there's that. The women had to sneak across state lines, fearing neighbors and friends might turn on them, might tell on them. Because remember, there was also money in it. I think there's like $10,000 if you rat somebody out who's trying to get an abortion, or somebody who helped somebody try and get an abortion or something like that. The one woman, or no, they said, one woman became septic and was left, they said, with so much scar tissue that one of her fallopian tubes is permanently closed. So here's a woman who needed this procedure for medical purposes and could not get it, was denied, and because of it, she got septic. I think that means she really got a really bad infection. Twice. They said twice this woman was septic. And then her fallopian tube has so much scarring damage that it's permanently closed. So it'll never be a viable fallopian tube again. That's horrible. You know what I'm saying? And tragedies like this, we should want to stop, right? This is America. We should not want to see this happening, because you have a few people who are so against abortion, you get stuff like this. Now, a good friend of mine who watches the show has said to me a while ago, he said, you'd be surprised how many women are against abortion. I hear that, right? But obviously it's more women who are for abortion. Obviously it's more people, period, who are for abortion. I'm pretty sure the last statistic I saw, it said 77+% of the American population supports abortion, especially when it's in the interest of health of the mother. So come on now. And if I'm wrong, you can Google it and you'll see I bet I'm a few points off either way. But point being, the majority of Americans supports abortion. So they need to get up off of this. GOP needs to get up off of this. You know, and I understand this is a fight that's going to wage on forever. And both sides are pretty well entrenched. You know, pro-life, pro-choice. There's people who ain't budging on that. There's some people pro-life, they're going to be pro-life forever. Some people pro-choice, going to be pro-choice forever. But my point is, we have to think about, I would say the health of the mother should be paramount, you would think. But some people are like, what, the health of the mother? What about the health of that child? I'm here representing that unborn child. That is what it is. But Texas, you got some explaining to do, because it's ridiculous that these women had to cross state lines just to get a medical procedure done because y'all done outlawed abortion, something that had been legal for 50 plus years in this country. Anyway, moving on, let's talk about the Obamas. One of the Obamas. Not Barack Hussein Obama, but let's talk about his wife. Michelle Obama opens up about her uncontrollable sobbing on the day of Trump's inauguration. Now, I'm here to tell you, Michelle, there's a lot of people doing some sobbing, just like you, crying their little eyes out because they could not believe that Trump won. Now, I couldn't believe he had won. I ain't crying. I wasn't crying, but I was definitely not, dancing in the streets or anything like that. I was dismayed as well too. I wasn't sobbing, but I can see why she would be, right? So there's she said at one point she even stopped trying to smile during Trump's inauguration, so she couldn't even put on the front no more. Now the Obamas have always said the Bushes were their examples of how to graciously turn the White House over to the new occupants. And that's hard to do, right? Especially when the new occupants are the other team. Especially when your side is lost. It's one thing when you're a Republican turning over the keys to the castle to another Republican. That's a joyous event. You know what I'm saying? Because this person is probably just going to keep on rolling with your policies anyway. Both of y'all share the same political party, so a TI is what a TI is, right? But here you have Barack Hussein Obama, who was turning over the keys to the kingdom to Trump. Donald J. Trump. Whoa! That was crazy. And I'm sure it was mind-blowing and surreal for them as well, obviously. So that was a lot for her to handle, so it was hard to do. But like I said, the Bushes showed them how to do that. Because the Bushes were Republicans. Their side had lost. Barack Obama had won. He came in lightning hot, dropped out the sky. He won. And the Bushes, they said that they were nice. They were gracious. They showed them everything, told them everything they needed to know, and did it with a smile on their faces. And that's the way you're supposed to do it. That's what makes America different. That peaceful transfer of power. And Trump, that's the first thing he wanted to disrupt, right? Kept talking about how he wasn't leaving the White House and all that other crap. had the insurrection go down right before he left the White House. He was all about trying to break that norm here in this country. And that's the only thing that makes this political experiment different than a lot of others around the world, right? Is that peaceful transfer of power. Other places you don't see it. There's places right now fighting over the transfer of power. You know, they had an election, one person won, that person's party doesn't think that election was fair. They're saying it's rigged. Where have you heard that? The election was rigged. Always the loser talking about it's rigged. You never see a winner talking about the election was rigged, right? So the loser scream it's rigged. People get on that, bada boom, bada bang. You got political unrest. You do not have a peaceful transfer of power. And that's what almost went down here. But nah, that's you know what I'm saying? This is how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a peaceful transfer of power. And that's what the Obamas had. They peacefully gave it to Trump. Like, here, hey, you won. The American people chose you. You do your best. And he did what I guess was his best, but whatever. That's a whole nother, that's another show, right? But that is what it is. But really, that's why I said they were the, the Bushes were really the templates. You know, they really showed the Obamas how to be gracious losers. You know, sometimes your side loses. You got to be a gracious loser, hand over the keys to the castle, and say, do your thing, right? Now, she was saying as she left, her last thought, was clearly, bye, Felicia. And all black people know what she meant by that. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like she was done with it. You know, bye, Felicia, because, and a lot of people would look at that and say, really, bye, Felicia, when you were holding, your husband was holding the highest office in the land. You know, what a great honor to be in the White House. But you have to think, when you're a person of color, especially a black person in America, from Chicago as they are to boot, all of that takes on different meanings for you, right? Sure, they were in they're in the White House, the House of the People, but also a White House that has the body of slaves in the foundation that died making it. They live there. They knew that. They know that. That's history. So they had to live with that. Michelle Obama, I've heard her talk about how, even though Barack Obama was the president, she was the first lady, they would still go places and people would treat them like they were the help, like they were maids or butlers or something like that because of the color of their skin. So they had to deal with all of that. And sometimes people want to hear that, who cares? You were president, you were first lady. No. Everything's different when your skin is dark. I'm sorry, everything is different. when the rules are always different. So why would the presidency not be totally different for the Obamas? It had its ups, it had its downs, but like she said, at the end there, she was kind of like, bye, Felicia, like, we did this and we're done with it. I thank them for doing such a great job. I tell people all the time that they were a great first family. They were a good look for black America. They were a good look for America. They were an amazing look for black America. Think about that. A black president, no drug scandals, no sex scandals, no wife scandals, no gun scandals, nothing. A first lady who could have been like most first ladies and just sit on her butt and do nothing. No, she got up and actually tried to do things and help kids lose weight and all types of stuff like that. So, the kids were amazing. They were a good look for black America. So chef's kiss on that whole presidency, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? He turned over the keys to Trump and he did it in the manner that you're supposed to do it in. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to talk about Senator Sheldon. And I said some interesting. First of all, Senator Sheldon is a Democratic senator from Rhode Island. And he was saying that the GOP's woke screen is a smoke screen. Now, I may have talked about it on the show before. I got to talk about it again. Because you're going to be hearing this word a whole lot more, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sure you heard it a lot anyway. Woke this, woke that. Woke-a-cola. Liberal America over there drinking that Woke-a-cola. The GOP will not succumb to these woke policies from this woke Joe Biden administration. Woke, 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 woke. The right over there is about to choke on the word woke. It's ridiculous. They need to cut it out. And all it is another buzzword, another dog whistle, right? That's all it is. Just like when they say economically disadvantaged, you already know they talking about the hood. You already know they talking about the ghetto. They talking about black folk. So it's another dog whistle. So woke is just another way of saying anything that doesn't have to do with our old white male way of doing things. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. The GOP budget secretary drafted a budget with some of Trump's allies helping him with the budget, and they used the term woke 77 times. 77 times! Why would they do that? Because that's just the word that they're using instead of saying, you know what I'm saying, instead of saying, because then they were, there was Tucker Carlson going to even say that, what did he say, the precious disadvantaged people. So basically trying to say that Joe Biden cares more about poor black people than poor white people, which that's stupid. But anyway, Tucker Carlson, of course, his audience eats that up, and that's what he's trying to say now. You know what I'm saying? That there's a certain sect of the population that's poor, and since they're black, Joe Biden cares more about them, which I can't tell. That don't even make sense with the numbers. But anyway, so that's what's going on. So whenever you hear this woke terminology, know that that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to demonize anything that helps people. Because think about that. We just talked about why they didn't like the budget, right? They didn't like the budget because it helped poor people get housing. They didn't like the budget because it went towards poor people's health care. They didn't like the budget for all that type of stuff that helps average folk, people who are not rich, people who are struggling every day in this country to get by, right? So that lets you know who the enemy of the GOP is. It's the common man. Even though they would get up there and swear that it isn't, when you have a budget that you support that gets rid of Medicaid and Medicare or makes it something that Congress is going to vote on every 5 years, they're not stupid. They already know if Congress has to vote on it every 5 years, they'll get rid of it. It probably wouldn't make it that first vote. Congress can't agree on, you know what I'm saying, the sky being blue or water being wet. Why would they be able to agree on the need for Medicare and Medicaid? And why would you want to put that in these buffoons' hands? The only reason they want to do that is because they know that it will go the way of the dodo bird. If they do, it'll be going. They'll get rid of it. And that's what they aims to do, America. So y'all better be paying attention. Really, because they're over there playing some games. That is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking here. I did pretty good. My time is drawing nigh, though. Before I get out of here, I want to talk about my IPA of the week. This is a delicious one. This is a Land Grant, and it's called Fruit Slices. Yeah, Land Grant's Fruit Slices. Delicious. Hold up. We take a sip of that. It goes hard, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Fruit Slices. It's got all types of citrusy notes. Let me read some of these ingredients here. I got to get it in the light. My eyes ain't what they used to be. Look, it says hops, mosaic, tropical, Amarillo, what in the world? Orange, Centennial, floral, lemon, and then out of Columbus, I guess it's some grapefruit. They said we make beer for you. It's 5.6% alcohol. Say, how's it taste? Citrus, juicy, light. I would agree. All of that. It's citrusy, it's juicy, it's light. You see they got these little, you know what I'm saying, little oranges and stuff, or what, and limes and stuff there on the cover. So when I seen that, I said, oh, that looks festive and floral. Grabbed it, tasted. Delicious. I'm taking another sip. All right. It's delicious. So if you got a little bit of money in your pocket, you're looking for a delicious beverage to wrap your lips around, go ahead and get you this Fruit Slices by Land Grant. It's good stuff. 5.6% alcohol. It goes hard. And it's in the yellow can. Look at that pretty can. Oh, pretty can. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. I am your humble host, Sen Music. This right here is Urban Politics. I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a chance, take yourself on over to YouTube. Like and subscribe. Sen Music, Urban Politics, where politics lives. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be seeing you around like a donut.